A battle is waging at school boards across the United States.
I'm sure we've got hundreds of people out there that would like to see those books before we burn them.
Books deemed to be sowing division in the classroom by Republican-controlled boards are being reviewed by authorities. Some are being removed from the shelves.
I don't know that any advocate who's been working on tracking or paying attention to the freedom to read can recall a time when the same book was removed or targeted with such vitriol and haste in so many places all over the country at once. And then the involvement of politicians, state legislatures, governors. This is categorically different. This is next level.
We're gonna embrace our parents, not ignore them.
The issue was key to the Republicans' retaking of the governorship of Virginia for the first time in 11 years, even after Donald Trump's popularity had slumped there last November. This was one of the adverts used by the victorious campaign.
When my son showed me his reading assignment, my heart sunk. It was some of the most explicit material you can imagine.
She's referring to Beloved by the Nobel Prize-winning author Toni Morrison, an account of American slavery that does contain some explicit scenes. Her son would have been 17 or 18 at the time of his assignment. It's all part of a wider cultural war against CRT, or critical race theory, an academic discipline using law, class, and gender to analyze racism in America. Contrary to the claims of right-wing politicians, though, it is not taught at school, but at universities. But some argue that discussing race at all, either in the school classroom or anywhere else, is itself a form of racism.
Nobody wants this crap. Okay, this is an elite-driven phenomenon.
Ibram X. Kendi's book, Stamped, was the second most targeted book for banning in the U.S. in 2020, according to the American Library Association. He traces the current mood of censorship to a backlash against the Black Lives Matter protests of 2020.
You had more people, particularly more white Americans, seeking to understand the history and really the presence of of racism, the history of all the different groups that have formulated this country. Then you had this bitter attack to prevent people from learning their history, from understanding their history, from seeking to understand how it was that George Floyd was murdered in such a brutal way.
But the range of books being targeted go way beyond those analyzing race in U.S. society. The selection suggests hostility to any consideration of gender, sexual identity, reproductive rights, or, in this case, just a simple acknowledgement that 3 African-American women were crucial to NASA in the 60s. In fact, many of the lists circulating of objectionable books have not originated locally from concerned parents, but have been compiled by groups funded by national Republican Party donors.
It's pretty clear that one side of the political spectrum believes is a winning political issue.
An issue that Republicans hope will mobilize the suburban white electorate ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. Shia Bertansi, Al Jazeera, Washington.